everyone, so I want to show you today how to connect your headphones, your earbuds, or a headset to your computer, to your laptop. I have a MacBook today, so I'm going to be guiding you through with a Mac, but you can also do this on a PC. The settings will be a little bit different and where you go will be a little bit different, but the overall concept will be very similar. Now this is really important because if you're doing remote learning or blended learning, the type of settings you want to use on your computer need to change depending on your situation, and that's really important. Okay, so the first thing you want is your earbuds nearby. So I have AirPods here, so I'm going to connect these today. And so what you want to do is open them up and put them on. So usually if you've connected your earbuds to your computer before, they'll automatically sync, which is what happened to me just now. I put the earbuds in, I heard it, and then it made this sound because I know it's now connected to my computer. But sometimes it doesn't do that automatically. Okay, so when it's not doing that automatically, you want to go to this top right corner where the speaker is, and you want to click on it. Now these are all the options as to where the sound can be going and coming from. So as you can see, Olivia's AirPods got checked off. Now in MacBooks, if you did not have this connected, they would normally default to this one. It would normally be here, internal speaker. Now sometimes it's not going to want to do that. It's going to get a little picky. So if it's getting a little picky for you and it's not working well, you want to go into some other settings to see what is going on. So you're going to 4-finger swipe. So I take my 4 fingers and you're going to swipe together like you're closing something. And you're going to find system preferences here. So you're going to click on that. And here you have all your system preferences going on. Now, when you're pairing your headphones or your earbuds to your computer, you're first going to have to go into these Bluetooth settings. So you're going to click Bluetooth. If you can't find it, there's always this little search bar, and you can start typing Bluetooth and it'll highlight it for you. So I'm going to click into there. So here you can see it says that my AirPods are connected. But here are all the other options on things that my computer could be connected to. Now there's another audio system in this classroom. There's a sound system right behind me. You can see it there. Okay, so I could also pair it to that. So if I wanted to pair it to that instead, I would click pair and wait for it to connect and it would show that. But right now my example is with the AirPods, so I'm going to make sure that that stays how it is. Now when your AirPods are connected like this, it's really important for you to understand this concept. The input of your sound is your voice. Okay, and we can use earbuds as a microphone when we're teaching dance, and so your voice going through the headset or the AirPods is the input. The output is what you hear. Okay, normally that's your students if they're live on Zoom, or the music that you're playing in order for the sound to be there while you're dancing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the sound preferences. So I'm going to click back here. So I'm back to this main system preferences screen, and I'm going to click on sound right here. Now this is where you can see output and input. So you can see that because my earbuds are plugged in, the input, the microphone, my voice is going through the AirPods, and then the output is also the AirPods. So if I were to play music, I would only hear it through my actual AirPods. I would not hear it through my computer speakers, or if you even have an external speaker, like if you hook your computer up to another speaker, you would not hear it through there. You would only hear it through your earbuds. So if you're just teaching remotely, okay, and it's just you either recording yourself or you're teaching your students on Zoom and there's no one else in the room with you, you're going to want to leave these settings as is. And these are the default settings, okay? So this is fine. And when you go in Zoom, they'll be the same. This is the tricky part. Say you're doing blended learning or hybrid learning, which means that you have half of your kids on Zoom and you have half of your kids in person, okay? If you leave your output like this as your AirPods, the kids in the room will not hear the music. Right? That makes sense because we're saying that the output is in our earbuds. So only we, the teacher, are going to hear the music. So that's really a big problem when we're thinking about blended learning or when we're doing hybrid learning. Okay? So when you want to change that, you're going to come to this output setting. Okay, so I recommend if you have children on Zoom or Google Meet or you're teaching in a blended learning way, you want to keep your input as the headset. You want to keep it as your earbuds, your AirPods, whatever it is you're using, because the students will be able to hear you clearly by using your earbuds as the microphone. Okay, so you want to leave this as is. You do not want to mess with these input settings. You want to click on output and you want to click here, internal speakers. Okay, once that's selected, you just hop out and that's it. So now if I were to play music, okay, and be talking and recording myself, the students would hear my voice very well because I'm still using the earbuds as a microphone, but now the students in the room can hear the music too. So you want to make sure you get comfortable with these settings, these input and output settings, because they're really going to change depending on whether you're doing fully remote or whether you're doing blended learning. Okay, if you want to change them back, you always can hop back into your sounds preferences and then switch back, and then everything will come through the earbuds. A last thing I want to show you is I'm going to connect my computer to the monitor. So I do this a lot in class so that I can see my students bigger on a computer screen. Okay, so here it's the TV. You can kind of see it in the corner if you're looking at me. Okay, so when I connect this monitor, I have a new option that shows up in my output, which is this guy. See how it's a display port? So when I select that, my students will be able to hear the music now through the TV. So this is how I actually do it. I actually have the music go through the TV because it can be much louder than my actual computer speakers. My actual computer speakers are kind of low and it's not loud enough for my students in the room. So I connect my monitor and then I select my output as the TV. The input is still my earbuds, right? And you can see this going up and down because I'm talking, so that's kind of your way of checking to see if it's working and receiving your voice. Okay, so these are the options. I recommend that you try different things out and you'll see that it's very, very helpful. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how to share your sound in Zoom. Okay, if you do not share your sound directly with your students, there is going to be a delay and the sound is not going to be very loud and it's not going to be very clear. So I'm going to hop in Zoom here and show you as an example. I'm going to open my own personal meeting ID. Okay, so here I am, I'm in, and I'm going to start my video. So now I am in Zoom. Okay, now there's a few things you want to mess around with in Zoom to make sure your sound is good. So you're going to go to the top right corner here, it says zoom.us, and you're going to go to your preferences. And you want to select on audio, okay? This is another place where you're going to see where you're connected to, okay? So sometimes if you do all those settings I showed you before, if you do the input and the output on your computer and it's not working in Zoom, sometimes these settings don't catch up. So you're going to want to come in here and mess with these. So here I can say I want to use my earbuds as the microphone. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing, sorry. Earbuds is microphone. And here I can also select that display port, or I can do same as system or the internal speakers. So I'm going to do the display port because that's my monitor. Okay, and so here are some of your settings. Okay, so here you can test the microphone, you can test the speaker, you can do all that great stuff in here. Okay, now this suppress noise, background noise, you want it to be on low. Okay, for us, for dance teachers, this is best to have it on low because if not, it's going to try and block out the music because it thinks that the music is background noise. So you can see here it says select the default noise suppression low to optimize for music. So that's what you want to do, is select it on low. If not, it's going to automatically decide and it's not going to sound very good. Okay, now I'm going to have you go to advanced. Okay, and here are some other things. This thing, you want to have it checked off. So normally when you hop into Zoom, and if you have not touched these settings, you're not going to have this checked off. So you do want to have it checked off here, okay? Because then it's going to share your sound exactly how it is coming through your speakers. Okay, that's what it's going to do. So you want to make sure that that's checked off. Okay, so once all these things are done, you're going to close out. And here we are. Okay, this box here, turn on original sound, was not there before, but because I checked that last box off, it now appears. So you want to click on it so that it now says turn off original sound, because when you clicked on it, you actually turned on the original sound, and so that's what you want. You want it to be turned on. So right now it's on, so if I were to click that again, it would turn it off. Okay, so you know it's on when it says off. I know it's kind of confusing, but that's how it works. Okay, now to share your music, you're going to go to share screen. Okay, now let me clarify something for you. You do not have to share your screen in order to share your music. You just have to go into this setting, which is kind of a pain, but that's where it is. So you're going to go to share screen, and in the bottom left-hand corner here, it says share computer sound, so you're going to click that. And then here in advanced, you're going to see there's this option, music or computer sound only, and we want that in order for the music to be shared. Okay, so I'm going to click share. And now if I were to turn on my music or Spotify, the students at home would hear the music so much clearer, and because this is still my input, they would hear my voice really well. So with those settings, your students are going to hear the sound really well, and they're going to hear your voice, and they can hear both at the same time. And if you, depending on how you want to hear the sound, if you change the output to your headphones, or you change the output to your speakers here, or to something external, you can control all that. You just have to get comfortable with these settings. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is how to record your class, okay, because sometimes we use Zoom to record ourselves and then send a link out to students, but sometimes we have to actually record our dance classes even that are live with students, so that's an option too. So if you go down here to your record button down here, you're going to click on it. Now you have two options, record on this computer and record to the cloud. I prefer recording to the cloud because what it does is it creates a link that I can then just share with my students. So it kind of saves me the work of uploading the video and then putting it on YouTube or putting it in my Google Drive. It automatically does that for me if I click record to the cloud. Now, depending on what type of Zoom account you have, the cloud can get filled up quickly. Okay, if you have a free account, it's going to fill up very fast. So you might be prompted, or it might say to you, like, you have no more room. So if that's the case, you either need to upgrade to a bigger plan, or you need to erase some of your old stuff on the cloud so that you can start putting new stuff. But I like it because it generates a link, and I can just send it automatically to students. Okay, your second option is to record on this computer. If you do that, it's going to turn your session, your video, into a file, a video file, and it's going to go into a Zoom folder on your computer. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick. So if I were to, I'm going to lower this. If I were to search for Zoom on my computer, okay, boop. Here are some of my folders. So here's some of the videos that I actually recorded to my computer instead of recording them to the cloud. So they're going to exist here, and here's my video. Okay, so you can see that that happens. So if I want to edit my video, if I want to trim some things out, if I want to do something with it, I recommend that when you go to record, you go to record on this computer. If you're fine with it just being as is, then you can record it to the cloud and it'll generate a link. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them.